we are not ordained pastors, nor are we medical practitioners. So if ever you need to consult with a professional, please do so. We're speaking from experience and extensive research.
Yeah. And of course, if you want to consult, do stay tuned in at 14:15. We will have Dr. Leseho.
Oh, nice.
Every Wednesday following his president, we bring in a doctor who allows you to send in your questions.
I love that.
Have a consultation on air.
That time consultations are so expensive, eh? You're very generous. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are we?
Today we are going to revisit the conversation of discipline. So I remember the first chat that we had, it was about discipline. So today we're just going to be expanding on that and speaking on how discipline is freedom.
Okay.
So very often when you do speak of discipline, it's like you just think of extreme hardship. And it's like, yo, bandla, sazokupugel. And that is the narrative that has followed discipline. But discipline is not punishment at all. If anything, discipline is the shortcut to success. And very often we think, no, I can't be disciplined, or self-control is not something that I can do. But it's like a muscle. So it's something that you can obviously train. So today we're going to be speaking about how discipline is the pathway to freedom, what it looks like on a daily basis, and basically how it can help bring you freedom, essentially.
So discipline as a pathway to freedom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Take out your notebooks. You know we can't attend the classroom of wellness and not take out a notebook. Take out your notebook. Turn up the volume in the office so that everyone else can hear this amazing session.
All right. So we're going to be speaking from a psychology perspective.
Okay.
Right? Because it's really, the mind is so powerful, and that's where discipline begins. Right? So discipline or self-control is the ability to regulate one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in the face of temptation and impulses.
Okay.
In psychology, this aligns closely with self-control and self-regulation, key components being intelligence and executive function. Right. And if we're bringing it to the word, Galatians 5:22-23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control." So even in scripture, it is highlighted, Uguti, discipline is very important.
Okay.
And there's no way that it would be put as the fruits of the Spirit if it wasn't important, right? So the benefits of discipline: you master your impulses. I think there's no one who doesn't have an impulse, right? But being a person who can master one's impulses is the benefit of discipline. And then you gain control of your time, your energy, and your efforts. You're not umuntu nje, you're just scattered, you know?
So master my impulses, would that apply to both my physical health as well as what I eat? You know, one of those minutes we are sitting, you're paying for bread, and then there's
that chocolate. And then there's that chump there. And you know, they actually put them there on purpose because they rely on impulse, you know? So being able to control your impulses, you're able to say, actually, that is not what I need right now, and that does not align with my goals, so I'm not going to do that, you know? An impulse as simple as spending time with people who don't pour into you. All in the name of their funny and their good vibe. Talk about it, you know. So those are an impulse. And if you have discipline, then you're able to gauge what's actually, this is instant gratification and it's going to be fun for now, but it's not going to be fun for long. So impulse control. Right. And
the word of the day.
Hey, baggies.
2 words actually. Impulse control. All right?
Impulse control.
Love
and
that,
it's something that can be controlled. It's not even you become a slave to your impulses through choice. Right. And then the benefit of discipline is also just reduction of chaos and anxiety. If you know that you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, trust me, anxiety is going to pay you a visit. Chaos is going to pay you a visit because you know that what you're doing does not align with either your principles, your morals, or your goals, right? And discipline allows us to achieve long-term goals more efficiently and properly. So, you know, Uguti, if, let's say, you want to run your Comrades Marathon, when you're disciplined in how you practice and prepare, chances are you're going to run a successful marathon, right? So discipline, like I said, pathway to success, shortcut to success, and it really just will take you to a space where you're free.
I love that. Do send your comments on 067-153-1089. Already one coming through from Sama. She says, discipline is a vital fruit. I love it. I love this conversation already. Let's keep going.
All right. And then, so from a psychological point, you have your frontal cortex, and that's part of your brain that develops as you grow, right? And it is responsible for decision making and impulse control. So you'll notice that things that you used to do when you're in your 20s, early 20s, and then compared to what you do in your late 20s, going into your 30s is not the same. The things that entertain you are not the same because your frontal cortex is like, no.
That's the time when everyone says, hey, you've changed.
Yes. Your frontal cortex is just like, we're not doing that. We know better. So what's lovely is that discipline strengthens your ability to make those decisions. So it works hand in hand with your frontal cortex. And then discipline allows you to be comfortable with delayed gratification, right? So because we are dopamine addicts and let me not say TikTok, but social media has accustomed us to getting access to gratification and joy very quickly. Instantly. Yes. It is very difficult for us to be okay with delayed gratification and understand that I'm going to push through this and it's difficult now, but I'm going to gain gratification later. So discipline basically, it teaches you to wait. And waiting then ties to the other fruit of the spirit, which is patience. So they all work hand in hand.
Interesting time and interesting choice of comparison, because so much times we are now seated, we post something, you go back quickly to check how many people have viewed
exactly.
it. And when
you
you
check
don't
the comments,
see
and then you're just like bummed and you're like, oh, not even one comment. You see? And also doom scrolling is such a big challenge because that is an instant impulse, and it's also so much gratification all at once very quickly. In 15 seconds you can just giggle. You don't even have to listen to the whole joke.
Wow.
So discipline teaches us to wait, right? And it also allows us to practice cognitive dissonance. So when your actions don't align with your values and principles, discipline helps you to close that gap, meaning that what you do needs to feed into what you believe in and what you're working towards. And discipline just allows for that to happen. So it's a bridge basically to get to where you want to be.
Wow, interesting. Let's keep going then.
Right. So this is an analogy that actually we explored in class in our yoga session earlier this week. And it was a bird analogy, right? So you start off by imagining that you're a bird. You're free from limitations, free from oppression, free from bondage. Whatever bird it is, whether it's an ostrich, chicken, or eagle, whatever, as long as you feel that you're free, right? You imagine that bird, you imagine that you're flying high and freely and very happily. The wind is beneath your wings, the sky is blue, stretches wide, the possibilities are much endless, right? Now, if you were to bring that vision into your actual season, what does that look like in your season? What does freedom actually look like in your season? Now, imagine that the same bird, this bird could be you, is now suddenly trapped in a prison. Now, suddenly the bird is chained down, it is oppressed, and it is limited, right? So all that freedom is gone. Now, if we were to bring it home, the question then is, and also these are prompts as well, the question is, what do you feel is oppressing you and what do you feel is chaining you down and keeping you from being that free bird that you were? And these look like different things. I think oppression, when we think oppression, we think of things that are very grand, like your apartheid, your situation at Gaza, grand things. But oppression actually is something we engage with every single day. And it could look like grief, for example. It could look like a toxic relationship. It could look like self-destructive habits, addictions. That's oppression. You not being able to say no to something, that is oppression. It could look like unfulfilling work commitments. Whenever you just feel like there are chains around your ankles. That is oppression. It could feel like rejection, fear of loss, or even abandonment. And then that taps into your people pleasing, where you are so fearful of loss and you're so fearful of being rejected. You're so fearful of being abandoned to the extent where you literally change yourself to avoid that fear. Yes. So all those things, those are limitations. So imagine that all those different challenges are chains and they're keeping you in that prison. Prison is not something you have to see for it to exist, right? So now you imagine and you identify these different prisons and these different things that are oppressing you. The next step is to ask, how can discipline set me free from these prisons?
Okay.
So imagine that discipline is a set of keys that you use to unlock these different chains. And then when you know what is chaining you down, you know what to work on, and you know which keys can unlock those chains and set you free. So if, for example, grief is the chain that is keeping you down, you lost someone, whether that person is alive or has passed on, but you are so scared to actually grieve that person. You're so scared to go for therapy. You're so scared to talk about it. That grief is actually a chain, right? And it's keeping you from being free from the pain of loss. Going back to the people-pleasing analogy, if you are so terrified of rejection and abandonment, right, chances are you're going to develop an attachment style that is not very healthy. And now you're bonded through commitments that you made all in the name of, I don't want this person to reject me. That's a chain, right? How do you address that? Through discipline. So all these different chains, you identify them firstly by being very honest with yourself with what is chaining me down. And once you're honest, then you're able to identify with how can discipline free me from these prisons and these chains.
Would the desire to fulfill your own desires also become a chain, whereby whenever you feel like you've not achieved what you had set out for 2025, and then you're pushing so hard to try and achieve that, does that sometimes also become a chain because you get tied on, I haven't made it yet?
So it's definitely attachment to lack of that achievement. Also, we go after certain things for different reasons. Other people, they want certain accolades because those accolades are going to buy them validation from a bank. So it's not so much that you are attached to not achieving the goal, but you're attached to the results that come with the goal. Whether it be validation, whether it would be you feeling worthy of anything else. And you're like, finally, I got that LLB. Now I am worthy of people's love or people's admiration, or now I get a thumbs up from people, and now I feel better about myself. That is a chain on its own. Seeking validation from other people is definitely a chain.
Interesting one. Do send in your comments as well. 067-153-1089. We're in conversation with President Ndaba on our Wellness Wednesday right here on Hope Alive Radio. We are talking all things and unbundling discipline.
So allow this to be an activity that you do and not once, right? Where you identify the different things that are oppressing you and the different things that are holding you back, whether it be a work environment. Sometimes we commit to certain things that we know we don't have capacity to entertain or to commit to. And now you're pressed because you said yes to a project that you knew you couldn't handle, right? You're used to delivering 20 boxes of bread. Now you get an order for 300, and you say yes, knowing very well that you're not going to do it.
You don't have the capacity to do it.
Yes, that is oppression. So identify the different chains, be very honest, right? And also ask for help, because sometimes this is so ask for the people around you who are honest and who are going to say this from a place of love. Ask them, what do you feel is oppressing me right now?
So this is a question I'm asking someone else. What do you think is oppressing me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because some chains are very hard to see, you know, and some chains we get so used to them to the extent where you feel like, it's normal. That's what I do. You know, let's say you're a person who is
That's
very
just my way,
and you're like, and there's nothing I can do to change it. To the extent when you don't even see that it's oppression now. It's part of your identity now. You know, but the people around you who love you will be able to tell you that, hey, actually, you're being oppressed by this, and it's not who you are, you know, so then you know to work on it. Yes.
Interesting conversation. Yeah.
So then once you've identified these different chains, you don't, from a place of honesty, then you see how can discipline free me from these different things.
Okay.
All right. And it's very important to understand that discipline, you have to approach it very strategically. discipline is not something of a Louis Papele. You have to do it step by step if you want it to actually work. Discipline needs a lot of consistency, and you have to be very patient when it comes to you being disciplined. Patient with yourself, patient with the process, and patient with the pace of the process as well.
Do I then consider a way to hold myself accountable with consistency elements?
So we're going to get to how to be disciplined, and I'm going to expand on that. Yes.
All right. Okay, let me know. Go ahead.
So, no, great minds think alike.
Yeah.
So firstly, you start small, right?
Okay.
A master of one habit at a time. So it's important to just take one thing at a time, because when we take too much on, chances are we're not going to succeed, and then that failure is going to discourage us, and then we're like, rather not do it. So instead of committing to, let's say you've been struggling at the gym and struggling to take care of yourself, right? Don't now go and start 75 hard, where every day you must train twice for 45 minutes, you must drink 3 liters of water, no, start small, start with 1 liter of water, be consistent with that for at least a month, and then graduate. So gradual progression is so easier to maintain, as opposed to I'm cutting off sugar for the rest of my life. Johnny, bro.
Just like that, and the body gets shocked.
And the body gets shocked. Or you saying that you have an addiction to social media, for example. Now you want to delete all your apps all at once. No,
I've tried that. It didn't work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Chances of you relapsing are very, very high, and then you're going to get discouraged. So at least tell yourself that I'm going to, if you know that you spend 6 hours in a day on social media, increase that by 1 hour, and tell yourself that actually I'm only going to go on social media extend nasepsu. So bit by bit, and that builds confidence as well. So you're going to be more encouraged to keep going.
And the use of apps, when it comes to that as well, would it be also beneficial to have a channel that actually deactivate that helps you deactivate, or creating that, what do they call it, the focus mode on the phone, or is it focus? Every single day you have that channel of thing. With that, I would suggest as one of the methods that would work when it comes to working hard at disciplining yourself.
I echo your suggestion, most definitely. I think always set yourself up to win. So everything around you needs to complement your goals. It makes no sense that you're like, I'm going to stop eating sugar. But there's so much sugar in your home. Like, don't make life hard for yourself. Like, relax, okay?
Full cream yogurt in the fridge.
Hi-bo. You know, most of us laying, and no one is above temptation.
Yeah, true.
You know, so it's important to make sure that everything around you, going back to cognitive dissonance, everything around you needs to complement basically what you're doing and working towards, right? Track your progress. So then it goes back to building momentum, and then speaking towards your community. The community is there to help you. So whether you're part of a running club, or you have your apps that remind you to slow down, or you've got people who are keeping you accountable, who are checking in to say, you have an addiction to substances. How have you been doing? How are you going? There's actually a sobriety app where if you want to sober up, like it counts the days, like 2 days sober, 5 days sober, 365 days sober. So it's easier to be accountable, and it's easier to keep the momentum when you've got things around you that are supporting you. I think in a community and in a season of hyper independence, we are encouraged not to seek for help, but we are created to help each other. So find help wherever you can. And don't try to do it alone. We know you can, but don't do it. So tap into your community, and then reward yourself wisely. So you can't say I'm cutting off sugar, and then you cut off sugar for 7 days, but your reward is a whole cake. No. No. Make sure that your rewards align with your goals. If you're saying that I'm going to run for a certain period of time, right, and I'm prepping for comrades, then reward yourself with a pair of trainers, or reward yourself with these cool vests that you guys wear that come with the bottle on the back. Reward yourself with things that encourage you. That encourages you, right? So reward yourself wisely and celebrate your milestones. I think we're very quick to judge ourselves on the different things we don't get right, to the extent where even when we do achieve things, we don't even celebrate them. I am such a big fan of celebrations. Like, I think it should be my job to celebrate because I love celebrations. I think we very often see celebrations as vain, but if you understand it very well, then you know that celebration is a form of praise to God, right?
I like that.
No,
celebration is a form of praise to God.
It is. It definitely is. So whenever you are prompted to celebrate, don't shy away from it. You are giving praise to God. That's why people who don't celebrate their birthdays, they just, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not self-inflation. It's not it's a form of praise, man. I think you need to see it that way and be consistent as celebrating, because there's always something to be grateful for. And it doesn't have to be something grand like, now we're throwing a party. But it could be something as simple as you fasting and saying thanks. It could be something as simple as you buying yourself, I don't know, whatever it is that you've been wanting for isikhathi and you haven't had good reason to get it, right? Celebrate as much as you can. But your celebrations need to align with your goals. You can't be sober for 400 days and then you celebrate with a bottle of champagne.
No progress there.
No, exactly. And then, most importantly, self-compassion. Discipline is not punishment. So when you fall off the wagon, punishing yourself is not going to help.
Okay.
Punishment is not helpful, right? So extend compassion to yourself, but don't extend so much compassion that now you're complacent. And you're like, oh no, I fell off. And then it takes you 5 days to get back onto the wagon. No, man, no. You know, if you fall off, get back on. But extend compassion and give yourself as many chances as you need. So you can stop to take a break, but don't stop and quit.
Is there anything such as positive punishment, whereby, for example, I miss out, I go to a birthday party in opposed to spending my time on the gym? And then when I go back to the gym, I spend an extra hour as my own punishment for not. If it doesn't make sense, or should I look for another analogy to put this through?
No, I hear what you're saying.
When it comes to wellness, because I think punishment is in itself is not a great idea to go. But is there anything called positive punishment?
Yeah, that's nonsense. I'm so sorry. Do you know why? Our brains...
Because I see people do that often to say, look...
I am sorry. I'm going to run an extra kilometer.
Exactly. I ate some cake on Friday to reward myself, but I overdid it, so I'm going to the gym. I'm doing everything at the gym. I'm doing everything to make sure that I burn those extra calories.
You're going to burn those calories, but what message are you sending to your mind? Because our brains are constantly absorbing information all the time.
Okay.
And our brains are rewiring and relearning things. So what are you teaching yourself, right? If you attach joy to bad things, then you are not going to have a positive relationship with joy. If you attach gym to punishment, you're not going to have a positive relationship with gym.
All right.
Whenever I'm happy, the consequence of my happiness is punishment at the gym.
For that.
No,
Okay.
no. I was actually sharing with the members the other day, you know what, if you want to stay training for a while, you need to gym and train from a place of love. Because if you come here to the gym and you're like, I hate my body, I hate how I look, you're not going to stay here long. 3 months is the maximum. So you're going to come back. You're going to be playing for free, really. Why? Because hate and self-disdain it's a force, but it's not that powerful. Love is way more powerful than any other force. So rather tap into what you know is going to drive you for a much longer period of time. And when you work from a place of love, you're going to be compassionate. You're not going to pass judgment towards yourself. And you won't see taking care of yourself as a punishment. If anything, you're going to see it as a privilege that I get to train. I get to eat well. I get to go to the gym. And not I have to. So it's easier to be disciplined when you know that I'm doing this because ngiyazithanda.
Very interesting lesson that we've heard today. How do we wrap it up? What are those pointers that you'd love to share with the listeners of Hope Alive Radio this afternoon on discipline? We've been really hammering it in this afternoon when it comes to discipline. How do we get it right, Spey?
I don't think... Some people are not going to like what I'm going to say. Right, but what you avoid controls you.
Are we pinned?
What you avoid controls you, right? Whether it be you avoiding the responsibility of taking care of yourself, whether you avoiding letting go of dysfunctional habits, whether you avoiding grieving properly, whether you are avoiding tapping into your community and actually accessing the help that is there for you. Whatever you avoid, or you avoiding difficult tasks that you know are going to really set you up for success, but you feel like, I'm not worthy of the success, or I'm not ready for it. Whatever you're avoiding controls you, and whatever controls you oppresses you. So whatever you're avoiding is basically keeping you from being that free bird, right? So please, for the life of me, make sure that discipline is what you allow takes you to that place of freedom.
Okay.
So very often the answers that we seek are in the places where we lack discipline and are in the things that we are avoiding. So you are here praying to God every day, Mudimo, please bless me, please bless me, please bless me. God has blessed you. You're just avoiding the work. Right? So your blessings are waiting for you. You just need to unlock those blessings with discipline.
Unlock those blessings with discipline. What a lesson to have on a Wednesday afternoon. You know, when a lesson is more personal for you, when this one is, it hit home because I've been very ill-disciplined in the last couple of months. You know, I'll be like, nah, get back to doing the things the right way. Maybe somewhere in December. So I think this one was for me. Do send in your views and your comments as well on 067-153-1089. What are your parting words and how do you tie it on a bow?
Parting words, discipline is not a punishment. If you like nice things, exercise your discipline muscle because you're going to get them through discipline.
If you like nice things,
yes,
exercise them with your discipline.
Exercise your discipline muscle. Imagine that, yes, discipline is a muscle.
Discipline is a muscle.
Yes.
Right?
So discipline is a muscle and it only grows when you actually work on it. So work on it, it's going to grow and you'll get exactly what you want.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, Spesihle Ndaba, who joins us every single week right here on Hope Alive Radio. Makeba Wellness bringing us Wellness Wednesday on Hope Alive Radio. But this weekend, they've got something exciting for you. It is an amazing space for you to join them for Pilates and Plates.
Yes.
It's happening in Bryanston. Do you have an address for us? We did have a text from someone asking, can we have an address? I did respond by saying, just go to Quicket and check it out. But what is the address of the space?
So
if you
we
do
are
have it off the top of your head.
Yeah, we're hosting at Decathlon.
Yeah.
So there's only one Decathlon in Bryanston. It's a massive building. You'll see it. It's blue and white. There's free and safe parking there. And everything you need is definitely there. So all you need to do is just come through, good vibes and an open heart. And let's have a good time.
Decathlon Bryanston, that's where we're getting together. The time is 9 o'clock. The price for your ticket is just 450 Rand, and that includes
the entire experience. And a very healthy breakfast. Breakfast or lunch does not play. Okay. So it's a very holistic experience.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. And how do our listeners get in touch with you to continue having conversations such as this and to book you, of course, as the super amazing trainer that you are?
Oh, man. So on social media, we are Makeba Wellness. Okay. And then that is LinkedIn, Instagram, even our website. And then on WhatsApp, we are on 082-727-5039. And then you can also find us on our website, our WhatsApp channel, and that is Ilulama by Makeba Wellness.
Thank you so much, Ndom, for making time to hang out with us today.
Thank
we look forward to see those amazing pictures.